This morning we're tackling an issue a lot of parents are uncomfortable confronting. Is it wrong to have a favorite child? What should you do if your kids think you do? ABC's Rena Ninan has the story of one mommy blogger who's had trouble bonding with one of her kids, isn't afraid to talk about it.
Do you guys have favorite kids?
When it comes to favoritism, most parents try to remain neutral, like Frankie, on the middle.
Honey, don't be ridiculous. Parents love all their kids infinitely.
But for others, the decision is not always a hard one.
Guess I'd say actual. What?
What do you think?
30-year-old mother of two, Lauren Hartman says her 3-year-old daughter is her favorite, writing in her blog called "I Don't Feel Guilty for Having a Favorite Child. Despite the immense love I have for both of my children, I couldn't help but feel like the bond with my daughter, my firstborn, was different, stronger."
I definitely had those fears. My heart wouldn't have enough room to love another child. There's something so special about your first child. We really had a strong bond. Which one goes with which?
Lauren admits when she first realized she was growing closer to her daughter, she initially felt ashamed.
It feels awful to think, oh, could I have a favorite? It doesn't mean that I don't love my son just as much. I love them both, but I have had more time to get to know her and to develop that bond, and my bond with my son is going to grow.
Even though she may have a favorite today,
Oops.
Lauren says she knows at some point the roles may change.
I think that over the years, I'll probably connect with my children each in different ways. You know, maybe during the teenage years when my daughter is maybe really challenging and emotional, I might find myself gravitating towards my son. Relationships just are ever changing, and I feel like children are no exception to that.
For Good Morning America, Rena Ninan, ABC News, New York.
Okay, there's one mom's story. We want to know what you thought about all this. We asked, is it okay to have a favorite child? 74% of you said no. 26% said yes. Let's hear from Lindsay Powers now from Yahoo. Welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
What's your take on this? What's your experience been?
So I think with this, it kind of depends on where these kids are in their lives, right? So this mom says she's gotten to know her older child a little bit better. So if a child is an age that you relate to more, you may find that they might be your quote-unquote favorite child, but it may be different the next week.
This is something that parents really need to think about, though, because there was a study, Brigham Young University, suggests that the perception that a parent has a favorite child can push them towards alcohol addiction, drug addiction. So advice to parents who are feeling this.
Yeah, well, I think perception is key, what you said, because you want to make sure that one kid doesn't feel like their parent likes them more than the other, because that can lead to some issues, even, sibling rivalry or their relationship with their parents. But it's really important to take some time to make sure that each kid feels special, that they have
like one-on-one time, because
Yes.
a lot of us, I have two daughters, and so you have to try and find things that you can share with each child separate from one another. Yes,
exactly. So each child feels like they have their time to shine, because if you have a kid that maybe has a baseball game one week, that kid's kind of the star of the family. The next week, then someone may have a ballet recital, and even if they don't have an event, it's really important to carve out that time. Doesn't need to be expensive, doesn't need to be fancy, can be lunch, can be just a quick walk around the block. It's something that my husband and I do with our son all the time to just make sure that we have a little bit of personal time with him.
It's that quality time that we've been talking
Exactly.
about. Yeah.
Great advice, Lindsay.
Thank you
so much.